Hello YouTube modelists, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank all my viewers and subscribers for tuning in. So I'm going to start this M41 by Tamiya light tank that I received from Vinny over at Gemini. So there is no year on this, so it must be a current kit, but anyway, let's take a look what's inside. So there seems to be a low parts count, doesn't seem that difficult. It's also all one color. I think it's going to be olive drab green, so it should be easy. Not complicated like tri-colored, German armor or anything like that. So here's the turret, 2 pieces. It's rather long in the back. Small square body. Chassis is encased in plastic, and it's the old chassis when it was motorized, because you can tell from the outline of the battery and where the motor would go. Here's another tray. It comes with a commander and 2 soldiers, I believe. There are the poly caps. Probably great detail for that time, but now it's probably average or slightly above average. But anyway, it's an old mold, but I think it's good for my purposes, which is motorizing. Rubber band tracks, poly caps, the chassis with the holes in it. You could tell it's motorized because instead of just having a hole, it's got a drop-in feature for the axle to drop in with that cut. Decals for the Japan Defense Force or the American one. I probably will use the American decals. Road wheels, axles, jerry cans. So this is most of the wheels. So it's really not that many trees, or it doesn't seem that much. They were able to fit into a compact box. Pretty decent detail. Look at the grill with exhaust vents. Pretty good, pretty decent. So this one, for some reason, I guess this kit is being sold domestically and in the US because they include 2 instruction sheets rather than just including 1 if they know where the kit will be marketed. If it's only going to be marketed in the US, it would include just the US instructions. They have the Tamiya tech tips, how to use certain tools, which is always cool. How to spray your models, painting. And this is printed on the bottom of the box. So let's take a look at the instruction sheet. It's a pretty cool feature now with smartphones. You can just use the Google Translator and use your camera and you can get the translation now. But anyway, that's how I read some of these Tamiya side panels. Since they're all in Japanese, I just use the Google Translator, Japanese to English, and it comes out. Here's a little history. I think it was built to replace the M41 Chaffee tank because the tank was very, very light. So I think the walk is very fast, but it is just a light tank, and of course now we replace it with a MBT main battle tank. So we'll talk about that's the Japan Defense Force version. So it doesn't look that difficult, right? This part is important because I think it holds the top hull to the bottom. Road wheels, and of course the poly caps. If you guys are interested in motorizing, look at the instruction sheets and scale mace and make sure they have poly caps available. Because if not, it means you have to glue the road wheel, and you won't be able to move. Machine gun. Doesn't seem that difficult. I probably will not be using the what do you call this? The gun shield cover, even though it looks kind of nice, but it's too much work. Of course, the figures. Where is the track? Here we go. I just use a soldering gun, the same thing, but basically just heat up the flat screwdriver and you create a bolt head on the little rubber stub. And then there's the camo. It should be easy. It should just be olive drab green, one color, which I do have. I'll probably airbrush it. But I have to do the road wheels first because the road wheels do have rubber on the outside. So I have to do those. That's somewhat tedious, but right here. I have to paint the black rubber. So from here I'm going to open up the bags, wash the parts free of the release agent, and then take it from there. But this should be simple because it's all one color. I will be weathering it as well. Alright, so I'm going to be using the mini motor. The only problem with using these mini motors is the shaft they provide is not that long. So what you can do is purchase a 3mm diameter shaft set. There's a short one and there's a long one. You have to get the one with the long ones. Now some are threaded, so you're not going to be using the threaded ones, but there are the hex shaped ones, which are much longer. So you're just going to swap it out. But you need to get this kit. They make these for like radio controlled cars as well. So still working on the motor and mounting it and all the switches. Alright, so the M41 Walker, I'm done airbrushing the olive drab XF62. Simple, everything's olive drab. I use enamel for the flat black because it's a very demanding area where the rubber on the wheels I just think the enamel paint would last longer because it has to roll with the rubber tracks. The engine is already mounted in. I forgot to airbrush this, so I just hand painted it. This is the little piece that holds it in. The motor is in. Everything works. I tested it. I still have to put the battery tray, the switch. But for the most part, everything's in. Inside the turret is also white. And I have to detail paint the figures. I couldn't remove this guy's hat because I did such a good job gluing it. It doesn't come off. Because I just realized it'd be easy to paint it without the helmet. And then add the helmet later on. So the inside is flat white. And then I have the flat brown, and then I also have khaki paint and dark green for the soldiers. So more detail painting, finish up on the switch and battery tray. More detail painting, then I have to put the decals, spray the matte clear, and then I should be good, but still a little bit more to go. Alright, so I just finished spraying the Tamiya flat clear, so everything's sealed. Decals are applied. So this is the tank, factory fresh, if it had came out from the Cadillac plant. But I still have to do the black panel lines and a little bit of weathering. It just looks a little too clean. And of course here are the two figures. One has looks to be an M1. The other one is a Thompson submachine gun. And that is the tank commander. And the factory fresh paint. Here we are at the final reveal. I am finally done applying the black panel line accent and weathering it. So thanks Vinny for sending over this kit. It was definitely fun. It is one of the few, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 kits still offered by Tamiya that is under $20. And it is an older mold, but it's great for motorizing. I think it's affordable because they sold so many of these that they already recouped all their R&D costs, so they're able to crank out the same mold, an old mold from, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s, and it's the same one. So it's a pleasure to put together. So here is the finished model. So the figures were a joy to put together. They are a lot of separate pieces, like they had grenades, the K-bar knife, the rifles and machine guns, the backpack, the water canteen. So a lot of separate parts, and you're able to detail it and everything fits. If you pose the arms correctly, the guns just go straight in their hand. So it comes with one figure with the Thompson submachine gun and one with the M1 Garand. So they also come with a flat square, a rectangular base if you want to put it on the base. But I'm undecided, so I'm just going to leave it off the base for now. But it does come with a rectangular flat piece of plastic so that you can glue them on so it'll stand better. So those are the two soldiers. And then here is the commander figure with the binoculars. So let's take a look at the tank. It was a pleasure to build. It's somewhat easy, but there are some steps that would be challenging, or at least keep the interest of the advanced modeler, such as all these, I think there's 12 hand rails or hand grabs, grab handles. I also converted this hatch to a movable hatch. This hatch, of course, you can close. Let's put the figure in now. Also, instead of gluing the mount to the machine gun, I just kept it swivel left and right, and it is made to elevate and depress. It does depress and elevate. So let's take a look and see what I did. I did paint the interior. And rather than inserting the front and back into grooves or clips, it's just this retaining hook. So here it is, painted in white, painted that white. The inside of the turret is white, you see his legs. So, pretty neat setup. Let me pause it and piece everything back together again. Or I could just turn it on now and show you what it switches on the bottom. I apply the decals so I remember what model it is. So let me piece it together. Here we are at my infamous spiral binder obstacle course. So let's turn it on and put it through its paces. So in conclusion, this is a very good kit. I highly recommend it. It is easy, but it does have a few steps that would keep the interest of the advanced model, like I said, such as these grab handles. But other than that, successful motorization, typical post-World War II Cold War style, where it's like simple angled front, solid road wheels with the rubber on the outside. This Walker tank does have a distinct feature, which is that large rear of the turret that has that long overhang. I don't know if it's because it's got a large rear storage bin or that's where they store the ammo, but the rear overhang is pretty prominent. Usually it doesn't really have that much overhang. Usually tanks don't have that much, but this one is a unique feature of that tank. But if you guys choose not to weather it, you don't have to put in that much time, but I decided to do it now. And as far as the gun lock goes, it's in a unusual place. Usually it's in the dead center of the front or back, but over here it's right on the end here. So you just lift it, you just rest it right there. The travel lock. So you can do it like that. I like that it's got movable or workable features. And that's pretty much it. So I will have stills as usual, but maybe a few action clips of this tank running. But fun kit, fun build. Thanks, Vinny, and I highly recommend this tank kit if you want to build something that's not as complicated as German armor with the complicated camo or with the interlapping or interleave wheels. It's just one solid color, and that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching.